Most students memorize that the derivative of sine is cosine, but only few know why. So today, we're going to prove this formula. The derivative of sine u with respect to x equals cosine of u times the derivative of u with respect to x using the definition of the derivative, also known as the first principle for derivative. And we will see eventually why this formula is true. So we want to prove that the derivative of sine of u with respect to x equals cosine of u times the derivative of u with respect to x. So let us prove this. Here is the proof. So we want to show why the derivative of sine is cosine. So to do that, we need to let y be equal to sine of u. So u is in terms of x. So where u is a function of x. Then, so we will apply the change in u. So if there is a change in u, there must be a change in y. Let us put that into writing. So then, y plus delta y equals sine of u plus delta u. So if there a change in u, there must be a change in y. So that change is called increment. So that change is represented by delta u and delta y. Okay? Now, let us transpose y to the right side of the equation so that the left side is delta y alone. So the right side becomes sine of u plus delta u minus y. But what is y? Y is sine of u. Hence, we have delta y equals sine of u plus delta u minus sine of u. Now, let us use the definition of derivative, especially the so-called the first principle. So by definition, okay, especially the so-called first principle, okay, first principle. So the derivative of y with respect to u is equal to the limit of delta y over delta u as delta u approaches to 0. Now, what is delta y? So we have the limit of delta y. Delta y is this sine of u plus delta u minus sine of u all over delta u as delta u approaches to 0. So this is the so-called the first principle. Okay? So what is the derivative of y with respect to u? That is the limit of the sine of u plus delta u minus sine of u all over delta u whenever delta u is approaching to 0. Of course, provided that the limit exists. Okay? Now, we have to observe that the numerator is the difference between signs, right? So it has the form sine A minus sine B. Okay? So where A is equal to U plus delta U and B is equal to U, right? Now, we need to recall a formula from trigonometry. So there is a formula called the sum to product formulas. So this is the difference between signs. So this is equivalent to the product of 2 cosine 1 half of A plus B and sine 1 half of A minus B. Okay? Now, we need to apply that formula. So we have the limit as delta U approaches to 0. We have 2 cosine 1 half A plus B. So we need to add U plus delta U and u. So that is a plus b. Then multiply it by sine of 1/2 of a minus b. So we need to subtract a plus delta u and u. Okay? Then all over delta u. Now, let us simplify the expressions inside the parentheses. Okay? So let us simplify the domains of cosine and sine. We have the limit as delta u approaches to 0. We have 2 cosine 1/2. So u plus u, 2u plus delta u times sine 1/2 of, so u is cancelled. What remains is delta u. And then all over delta u. Now, let us apply some trick here. So we need to bring down this 2 in the numerator here in the denominator. So to do that, we need to take the reciprocal of 2. And the reciprocal of 2 is 1/2, right? So let us rewrite this as limit as delta u approaches to 0. We have cosine 1/2 of 2u plus delta u times sine of 1/2 delta u. And then we have 1/2 delta u. Okay? Or we just divide, right? Divide by 2. So you would divide it by 2. 2 is cancelled and there would be 2 here in the denominator. So, okay. Now, we need to rewrite this again. We have the limit as delta u approaches to 0, cosine of 1/2 2u plus delta u over 1, all over 1, right? So no need to write 1. And then we multiply it by the limit of, or later on, we need to rewrite it by, we have sine of 1/2 of delta u over 1/2 delta u. Okay? Now, we have the limit of the product. So recall from the rules or formulas in limit, the limit of the product equals the product of the limits. Hence, we have the limit of cosine 1/2 2u plus delta u as delta u approaches to 0 times the limit of sine of 1/2 delta u over 1/2 delta u as delta u approaches to 0. Now we have to get the limit of cosine and then the limit of the sine. Okay, so in the first part we have to directly substitute delta u equals 0. So we have cosine 1/2 2u plus 0, right? And then multiply it by the limit of this. What is the limit of this? So this is of resemblance of the famous trigonometric limit. Okay? The special trigonometric limit, which is the limit of sine of x over x as x approaches to 0. So applying the squeeze theorem, this is equal to 1. Okay? So notice that the second part of the limit is like of this form, right? So hence, the limit of sine 1/2 delta u over 1/2 delta u as delta u approaches to 0 is equal to 1. Okay? Applying this special trigonometric limit. So we have times 1. Hence, we have cosine 1/2 times 2u. So we can cancel out 2, right? So what remains is cosine of u. So hence, the derivative of y with respect to u is equal to cosine of u. But that is not the end of the story. That is not the end of the proof. Why? Because we need to multiply both sides by du dx. Why? So I will put that into writing, we need to multiply both sides by du dx. Why is that? Because u is in terms of x, right? We let y be equal to sine of u, where u is a function of x. So that's why we need to multiply dy dx, dy du equals cosine u by, we need to multiply both sides by du dx. Okay? So multiply it by du dx. So we get, what do we get? dy dx or du times du dx equals what? Cosine of u times the derivative of u with respect to x. Now, clearly we can cancel du, right? So what remains is dy dx equals cosine of u times du dx. Now, since we let y be equal to sine of u, where u is in terms of x, then we have dy dx equals what? Equals d, okay, what is y? Sine of u. Sine of u. So what is the derivative of sine of u? Okay, we have cosine of u times du dx. So, hence, we have shown that the derivative of sine of u with respect to x is equal to cosine of u times the derivative of u with respect to x. And that is the end of proof.